Welcome to Insights with Dr. D, where psychology meets empowerment. Join Dr. Dana Prophet as she guides you on a journey to unlock your full potential and create a life you'll love. In each episode, Dr. Prophet brings her unique blend of wisdom, empathy, and humor to the forefront, empowering you with actionable insights and practical tools to navigate life's challenges and help you uncover your best self.
Hello, dear listeners. Childhood is a time of joy and growth, but for those of us who have experienced bullying, it often becomes a battleground. Being bullied is a deeply personal and painful experience that shapes how we view ourselves and the world around us. For me, this was no different. My empowerment journey began not in moments of triumph, but in the depths of humiliation and rejection. You see, no one gets into motivation, inspiration, or the healing arts without first having endured pain. The pain point and the process of overcoming it is what triggers that deep need to help others. My story of pain began in elementary school with what I thought was the safest relationship in the world, my best friend. We were inseparable. My best friend and I were, as they say, tied at the Jordache hip. We had everything in common, our upbringings, our taste in music, and even the clothes we wore, which was usually each other's. She was my blood sister, the kind of friend you would vow to be in your life forever. But as life often does, change came in the form of middle school. Our elementary schools merged, and suddenly we were thrown into a bigger pond with new faces, new dynamics, and new loyalties. That's when it happened. She met someone new. It stung. At first, she tried to reassure me, throwing out sayings like, "Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold." But the truth was, she didn't keep me. She let me go faster than a cat on a hot tin roof. I was devastated. I cried to my mom about it. I looked for any sign that she still wanted to be my friend, passing notes in school, hanging out at recess, but nothing came, or at least very little. And so I built my first wall. I vowed then and there that I would never let friends hurt me like that again. I would never give away my personal power. If being vulnerable meant risking that kind of rejection, I would choose to be alone. I've got me, I told myself, and for a while it worked. Or so I thought. Middle school brings its own challenges. For some, junior high is a place of self-discovery and new beginnings. For me, it was the epicenter of bullying. I wasn't just teased, I was seriously bullied. People wrote cruel things about me in textbooks. They mocked the way I walked, claiming it was weird. They pointed out that one of my eyes was slightly bigger than the other, as if it were a flaw I hadn't noticed. Thank you. They shamed me for not having the same last name as my mom. And then there were the hallway taunts, yelling that I was a lesbian, which, for the record, was meant to be an insult, despite my complete lack of judgment towards anyone's sexuality. If you're picturing me as some kind of misunderstood rebel, you're not far off. In fact, I was compared to Ali Sheedy's character in The Breakfast Club. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. She was quirky, different, a label that really stung at the time, but once I've since learned to embrace. Most people let bullying drag them down, and tragically, some even take their own lives because of it. StopBullying.gov reports that in 12 of 15 school shootings, the shooters had been bullied. Students that are bullied are up to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims. But I didn't let it destroy me. Instead, I took those intended insults and reframed them as a misguided attempt to improve myself. At the time, I believed the flaws my bullies pointed out were real, so I worked on fixing them. I didn't realize then that I was already perfect just the way I was. For example, they said I walked funny, so I learned to walk in high heels and not just walk, I strutted, turning an ordinary hallway into my personal runway. And they mocked my appearance, so I mastered makeup. I became so good at it that they started calling me Miss Makeup, a nickname I thought was hysterical because it was supposed to be a derogatory comment, but it had no sting in my new empowered state. I found my tribe in the Drama and Choir Kids, a group of like-minded misfits who embraced my quirks. Sure, we were bullied collectively, but at least we were in it together. I also cultivated interest in faraway worlds, history, fashion, and beauty. I became someone who just didn't survive bullying. I thrived because of it. The walls I had built to protect myself became a canvas for my self-improvement, and in the process, I discovered who I truly was. Now, you might say, but those walls you built at 7 years old, weren't they a bad thing? Didn't they keep you from connecting with others? And to some extent, you'd be right. But most of our walls do come from childhood trauma, and they often linger long after their purpose have been served. But here's the thing. Isn't it better to have made lemonade out of lemons at such a young age than to retreat into a shell forever? My walls may have started as a response to pain, but they also gave me space I needed to grow. And as I grew older, I realized that the same walls protecting me were also limiting me. They kept me safe, yes, but they also kept me from fully experiencing love, connection, and joy. So I began the hard work of dismantling them. Brick by brick, I tore down those barriers. I turned myself from an introvert into an extrovert. The process wasn't easy. It required vulnerability, a willingness to show up as my authentic self, even when it felt scary. But as I let go of the fear and anger that had fueled my walls, I found something incredible on the other side: empowerment. I discovered that I didn't need walls to protect me anymore because I had built something even stronger within myself: confidence, resilience, and self-love of who I had become. To overcome challenges created by your inner bully, sign up today for my 8-week online masterclass, Turn Your Inner Bully into an Ally, where we take the power away from your inner critic and give it back to you. In this course, you will actually meet and talk with your bully and begin a dialogue with it. You will discover your superpowers and understand how they help you build esteem and personal power. You will create a new identity and learn to stand up for yourself in a positive way, creating boundaries that the bully in your head and others around you will learn to adhere to, and you will learn to be your own best friend. Simply go to drdanaprofit.com/bully. That's drdanaprofit.com/bully. Tearing down my walls allowed me to connect with others in ways I'd never thought possible. I stopped fearing rejection because I knew my worth wasn't tied to anyone else's opinion. Most importantly, I realized that the very things my bullies mocked me on were things that made me unique. My quirks, my interests, my individuality. Those are my superpowers. And guess what? They're yours too. Today, I'm no longer the girl hiding behind emotional barriers. I am an empowered adult living a life I love, and I owe much of that to the challenges I faced as a bullied child. My pain became my purpose, my rejection became my resilience, and my walls became my wisdom. So to anyone out there still hiding behind their walls, I say this: it's time to let them go. Yes, they served a purpose once, but you don't need them anymore. You're stronger than you think, and the life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you on the other side of those walls. You've got this, and I've got your back. P.S. If you or someone you know is being bullied, please talk to someone who can help you, such as a counselor, a hotline, or even the police if someone is in imminent danger. Links to websites that can help are listed at the bottom of this page.